intellectual Venezuelans are all over this stuff, right? And I actually saw speaking of social media again, a mayor in Venezuela had like. Did you see that picture?
Yeah, I wanted to talk about this.
Let's start on it. Yeah. So,
you know what I'm talking about?
No, I actually did not see that.
You
part.
saw it though.
So this actually pushes past the Petro for a second.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
So
Go
we
ahead,
wanted
go
to talk
ahead.
about that next, but
we'll go into Petro.
That's fine.
so it actually bounces back to our earlier topic of mining, and kind of into the Petro. I don't know how to wrap this all in together, but so there's a mayor in Venezuela that started bragging about doing a bunch of crypto mining, which is kind of sponsored now by Maduro, the president of Venezuela, because he's into crypto and the Petro now, but this guy's mining Bitcoin. And so basically what they're doing is doing what they want to do with the Petro and get around sanctions. So they just take the basically free oil that they can't do anything else with. They burn it, turn it into electricity, then turn it into Bitcoin, and they can do anything they want with it. There's no sanctioning Bitcoin. So
unbelievable.
They are actually doing that, and that kind of goes back to like poor incentives for energy. Like Venezuelans intentionally made energy really cheap, completely messed up their economy beforehand, and now Bitcoin miners can swoop in and take advantage of it and just completely screw them up even further, which is kind of crazy. How you get more screwed up.
Do you know more about the mayor at all? But he posted it on Instagram, right?
Yeah, no.
Just him with like a bunch of ant miners, basically, right?
Blurring in the background, can barely hear.
Yeah, and this is a guy who is, I guess, I would imagine every mayor is supportive of Maduro in the sense that they don't want to be deposed exactly.
Murdered.
And they're mining Bitcoin, and you just see the writing on the wall. Any type of rogue nation or nation in trouble, kind of a tool is useful when someone that is at the end of their, end of the line, no resort, right? When they start using it, they're like, we can actually use this to kind of skirt sanctions. We don't have to create our own, currency, but I guess we'll go into the
just
the
one
Petro.
more side note on that story. There's a lot of rumors about miners being confiscated from the people, and so we kind of know where they ended up.
Well, and I've heard that they're like, "Oh, this is treasonous."
They probably confiscate it and then use it, right?
Oh no, for sure.
That's what's
that's the name of the game.
Exactly.
Pirates of a new type, I suppose. So obviously some of the bigger news, and this is actually, I feel like this is a little bit more not big. What's the term I'm looking for? This is I feel like this is a first, and that's that Donald Trump and his administration have banned United States residents and citizens from buying the Petro. So I guess I'll start off with Brett. I mean, you're going to have to put off that big purchase that you were planning on doing, right?
I was such a huge supporter before he did that.
Where are you going to put that money instead? You know what I mean? Maybe you'll just find a way around it. You really want those Petros.
I actually met someone in, where did I meet them? Dallas, that was planning on buying the Petro.
I think I remember you talking about that.
They're from South America, and they were actually looking to buy it. I don't know if they're a U.S. citizen, but I know they have some connection to South America. And so there was actually, did they do a sale yet? I actually don't really know.
So they are.
They
they're taking the money. Yeah, they're taking the money, and they're not. You don't get the actual tokens until
and the token is
April
not on
May.
Ethereum; it's on NEM,
And
which a lot of people don't know about. But it's actually been like the top in a top 10 cryptocurrency in terms of market cap, which is basically kind of meaningless in a lot of different ways. But it just shows that they have a lot of units out there. There's a certain price for them, and there are large bag holders of NEM, and there's some type of platform that you can launch a token on top of. Right?
So I'm kind of curious. This is one of those things where it's like an unstoppable bullet hits an unmovable wall. It's like on one hand, the Venezuelan government, our libertarians are no fans of the Venezuelan government.
No.
But on the other hand, you have Donald Trump kind of trying to tell you what to do. Like, is this something where you're stuck in the middle? You got one person, you got one side that's shitty, the other side's shitty.
Well,
I almost thought twice about it. Like, you know what? I don't like Donald Trump telling me what to do. Maybe I will buy a Petro.
Right. I could see a lot of people, at the New York Times buying the Petro, trying to buy it now. I just think just scratching away all the other, I guess, the emotionality of it. Just the headline is fucking incredible. Donald Trump as president, which most people can't believe is even to this day that's even real. But people who have watched Idiocracy think it's very real and very predictable.
Right.
But Donald Trump, U.S. president, puts out an order banning cryptocurrency, the Venezuelan cryptocurrency. If that doesn't show that we are in the fucking future, I don't know what does. And it's a weird future.
Yeah.
Right. And it kind of highlights the power of Bitcoin, where or I should say crypto in general, where now these nations have a bargaining chip or a tool that they can kind of, because the U.S. basically uses the dollar as a weapon, right? It's been weaponized for at least decades now, and we've been able to tilt a lot of things in our favor in terms of foreign policy, trade, whatever, because we have the global reserve currency unit of account. And this is just another example of how fucking crazy this world is now. And say let's extend this to like Russia, right? There's like a current red scare in the United States. If we did anything that I guess a lot of people on the left now want to do towards Russia, I mean, I think that would just supercharge Putin's walking, embrace of cryptocurrency and blockchain in general. And keep in mind, Russia has the most energy assets in the world.
Yeah.
Right. People don't really realize that. I mean, it's a monster of a country in terms of like raw physical assets.
Right.
And if we even start walking in that direction towards significant sanctions that a lot of people on the left want to, it will just speed up the adoption of cryptocurrency by Russia.
Let's do it.
Yeah, it is something where I feel like lately I've been noticing the United States has been doing pretty well in the realm of cryptocurrency. Like
we're leading the way.
Yeah, pretty much. I didn't even think anyone would even be trying to do any mining, and now
my mom's mining.
Yeah, exactly right. That's exactly my point.
Love you, Mom.
The same way that the United States was the leader with, I guess you could say, the internet with cryptocurrency. It seems like they are leading the way, at least for the time being, which is a good thing, right? I mean, as a citizen of the U.S., we would rather have those jobs coming here than somewhere else.
And the cynical view is it helps. The reason it's okay is because it helps rich and poor people. So this is another asset that rich people can use to store things off. I guess out of the old system, avoid taxes, whatever.
Right.
But it's also an asset you can use to avoid a bad government that is trying to tax you unfairly.
I do like what the U.S. is doing in terms of going after these ICOs, right? Like, if you're fucking security, you need to register. A lot of people are kind of just, very flippant about it and, just trying to raise tons of money. And they're not really clear. Like, what do you get for this token? It's not really used for anything.
Right.
Right. And I think, I guess they're doing a good job of not really going after these distributed, these decentralized currencies, but they're actively looking into these ICOs, and I think they announced that there's literally a couple dozen cases
that
or
they
so
are
that
actually
they're
pursuing.
And I think that's perfectly reasonable. That's your kind of job as a regulator to stamp out scams.
Yeah, it does make you wonder which ones they're going after. Hopefully, they're so crappy that I never came across them. Right?
I feel like
Ethereum.
I mean, Ethereum.
We're gonna get some comments on that.
People were talking about how Bitcoin is the least likely to come under scrutiny from any of these, like something called the Howey test, which is basically a test that
for securities
tells you whether or not something's a security.
Bitcoin never made anybody.
But Bitcoin's the most organic of them all, right? It was really a pure play, a pure technology play, and obviously there was people that were thinking of gains, but it wasn't. Satoshi himself was basically kind of flippant about it. Oh, you guys might want to pick some up if it ever catches on, but. It was there's nothing more pure than the BTC blockchain, and I think the SEC or the U.S. government in general hasn't been that antagonistic towards it at all. And I think and I like you said, does it affect what's going on? I think it does in terms of U.S. market price, because people they recognize the power of the U.S. government, and a lot of people do take their cues from that. For people like us, we don't really give a shit what the U.S. government has to say, other than for our podcast,
right?
Because we don't think they can stamp it out anyways. but it shows people that are kind of hesitant that, oh, the U.S. government really isn't being that aggressive towards it. They're not trying to go after your Bitcoin.
Yeah, I think they realize that it will bring money and it'll bring jobs in. And honestly, even if some of them don't get it, maybe there's some in the government that actually are making money off of it. So that's a good thing, is when you have tech that's making money, all of a sudden everyone's a fan,
Yeah.
They'll look the other way when there's stuff that they don't like. So we do